The city of Fort Lauderdale was devastated by a terrible hurricane in 1926, destroying many of the buildings. Constructing this fire station was the city's first public works project following that disaster. The city commission had a mind to make a statement that the city was going to come back better than ever, so this fire station was the result. They engaged a famous local architect by the name of Francis Abreu, and they gave him instructions to design and create a fire station that made a statement to Fort Lauderdale and its people that the city was going to come back. And he did that. He designed a fire station with a rotunda. On the outside of the windows are unique architectural eyebrow treatments inside the building. It features wood beam ceilings, a fireplace, inlaid tile floors, and a variety of chandeliers and other very interesting architectural features. Station 3 went in service as a Fort Lauderdale fire station in 1926. It came out of service in the year 2004 and served for most of the years in between as an active firehouse serving the west side of the city of Fort Lauderdale.
I was stationed here in the early 1980s up through the early 90s. I was here as a firefighter, a driver, a lieutenant, and spent a lot of time in and out of the station when it was in active service. It wasn't brought to my attention until approximately January of 2004 that perhaps something unusual was taking place here at the firehouse. I was a division chief, and I was on B shift, and we had reports of firefighters that had accepted a new bid that took place on January 1st, that there were a lot of strange and unusual events occurring here at the old West Side Fire Station.
This was my bedroom. There was a bed here. I was facing that way, laying on my side, facing out towards the day room. We all went to sleep. I was laying there, all the lights were out, everybody was sleeping in their bunks rooms, straight down the hallway here. I was laying there, all of a sudden the lights pop on. So I get up, I go out there, and the light switch had actually come on. I shut the light switch off. Came back, I laid back in bed, I was laying there. 3-4 minutes later, the light pops back on again. I go back out, I look, there's nobody out there, so I figured somebody in the firehouse was messing with me. I go into all the bedrooms, everybody was sleeping, everybody was already there. Went back out, I shut the light back off, came back into bed and laid towards the wall this time. I didn't want to upset him anymore.
We have a PA system that you could go into the kitchen, and if you keyed it up, you could basically call everybody for chow or if there was a call or whatever. And then during the night, at different times through the night, it would key itself up. And it had a button on it that you had to click. So that would happen where it keyed itself up.
I was getting ready to go to bed. My partner had already settled down that night and was sleeping. I put all my belongings on the end table next to the bed, which was a phone, keys, and a radio for the truck. I proceeded to go to sleep. I'd say probably about an hour later, I had heard a bunch of racket from the end table. I thought somebody was just messing with me and moving all my stuff. I turned the light on and everything was all over the place. The keys were on the ground, the radio, everything had fallen off. And I looked at my partner, I got up and she was sound asleep. Where I actually physically woke her up, and you could tell it wasn't a joke, it was, something had happened.
We had several reports with the TV where either the image of the ghost was reflected in the television screen itself, or was seen as a more of a reflection.
This used to be a kitchen area with a table. There used to be computers all along here. At the time I was sitting here, it was late, we were running calls all night, and I was up doing a report. I was writing it facing towards the bay area, and at the bay there was to be a small window, about a 1x1, facing into the bay. And for some reason I looked up and it looked like someone was looking into the kitchen area from the bay. So I got up, I went out there, I thought someone had broke into the station. I went out and looked around all the trucks and all the closets and everything, there was nobody there.
A lot of times we'd go out on a call and there would be one light on, which was the one right by the nightstand by the door, and then you'd come in and every single light in the station would be on. Or vice versa, you'd leave and every single light in the station, when you came back, every single light would be off.
Picking up on these stories, I started to do a little investigation, and I didn't tell anyone about what I had found, but that there was a firefighter by the name of Robert Leland Knight, 28 years old, with 11 days on the job, that was killed either on December 26th or December 27th, 1940. He was electrocuted when stepping off the back of a truck. He stepped into a pool of water that had been charged with a down line. It was a freak winter storm. They had responded to a fire out on West Broward Boulevard in the area of Broward and I-95, where he stepped off the back of the truck. Unfortunately, they didn't have rubber boots for him that would fit his big feet at the time, and when he stepped off, he was electrocuted. Having the rubber boots might have saved his life, but in any case, he was electrocuted with 11 days on the job. And the information that we uncovered is that he had responded to that fire from this firehouse.
The story at the station that you would tell the new guys about the ghost, and then you'd try and have a little fun with them. And there was one time me and the other guy on rescue were in the bunk, and I was sitting there giving the heat because they had told me that he's very phobic. So I'm like, oh, firefighter night, this place is haunted, and then all, lights will go on, lights will go off, and I was just having a good time with him. And about 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, the fan in the room went on and the lights in the room went on. And he thought I was messing with him. I hadn't touched anything.
I have no doubt that the personnel that have told me and others of their events and the occurrences here at the fire station, I have no doubt that they're telling the truth. This is a large cross-section of firefighters, male, female, African American, you name it, they've seen it. And they all had a similar story, similar occurrences over probably a 4 or 5 month period when that began, sometime around January of '04. And to my knowledge, they continue to this day with personnel that have been working in and around the museum to get it ready as an educational and museum.
As we were cleaning, we noticed something go by the window. It was fairly transparent, and of course we had heard that there was supposedly something spiritual going on here because of a fireman that had passed away early on. And we just kind of attributed it to, well, it's just one of those things. The next day or the day after, we were back cleaning another area along the main corridor back to the bedrooms. And the front door on the museum is rather massive. It's a very large, solid wooden door that is always kept locked. And as we cleaned the area in the hallway, the door opens and slams. We knew it was locked because we had just finished cleaning the rotunda area and had made sure that the door was locked. So within a matter of minutes, it had been unlocked, not by my associate or myself, opened and closed and remained unlocked.
If there is something going on, that was the most logical choice, that it would be firefighter night. As I said, nothing bad has ever happened, so that pretty much falls into the right category of a firefighter.
You're typically never a believer until you actually have something happen to you.
So is fire station number 3 really haunted? To find out, Southeast Florida Ghost Research conducted a thorough investigation. Using a variety of techniques, including digital audio and infrared video recording, the team made some interesting findings. Some members even had very personal experiences.
Let us know that you're here, Robert. We asked for a sign.
Really cold. I mean, like, I got shiver cold. I got heavy chest. My face.
I don't know why this is happening, but I'm tearing from both eyes.
Wow. You see that? Mm-hmm. Robert, we understand your sorrow. We could show the world that you are here.
It just felt like somebody just took a piece of ice and started at my shoulder and went all the way down to my big toe.
I wonder if he felt that during the time of his death. Maybe it was
electricity goes into your body and goes out your extremities. That could have been
what he was feeling.
When you get shocked with a substantial amount of voltage, it does feel very cold in the beginning.
We thank you, Robert, for sharing these experiences with us.
There was also hard evidence of paranormal activity, including unexplained video and photographic anomalies. But perhaps the most intriguing findings of all were the EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena. These audio recordings are usually inaudible to the human ear, however, reveal themselves during computer analysis.
And if you want to cross them, that means yes. Okay? We are going to be leaving.
The question remains, is FireStation number 3 really haunted? As Lieutenant Salzano said, you're never really a believer until something happens to you.